Welcome to Servant of the Fates. I'm here to tell you about one of your past lives. We'll use tarot and Sibila to discover the truth. Pick the card that sparks a memory in you. It has your answer. Guidelines below on how to do just that. Feel free to pause this video as you take your pick. As always, timestamps down below. And let's begin. If you chose Earth, welcome to your reading. It's timeless. You are meant to see it right now. So, who were you in a past life? Let's start with tarot. The Nine of Pentacles. The Four of Wands. The Seven of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune. And the High Priestess. Wow. Okay, so darling, to start off, you were a woman. Look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 females compared to just 2 males, right? So you were a woman, and what kind of woman were you? You were a noble woman, someone rich, okay? The Nine of Pentacles. This is the card of wealth, and together with the Four of Wands, this isn't wealth that you worked hard for, okay? You were born into it, darling. You were born rich, okay? Someone born into a very privileged, very well-known family. Four of Wands, the card of stability, right? Ultimate stability when it comes to wealth. Yellow, right? The card of money, the card of gold. See, lots of pentacles, lots of gold, lots of coins. So you were someone very rich, darling, right? You were beautiful and you were rich and you were wearing all of the most beautiful robes. Everything was intricate, even your hair. Look, you have all of the riches that anyone could ever ask for. And it's not something that you have to try to maintain and work hard for, right? It's something that's given. It's something that's lasting. It's something that's forever there in your life. But with the Seven of Wands here, darling, you were anything but happy. You know that saying, money can't buy you happiness? Well, for you in your past life, it was true, okay? It very much applied to you. You were struggling. Look, the Seven of Wands, this is the card of struggle, of challenges. You felt like, you know, things just weren't complete. You felt like life was so hard, and that's crazy, right? Some people would look at you from afar and say, you have everything. You have the mansion, right? You have the name, you have the family, you have the nobility, you have the money, everything. You have the beauty and the abundance. How come then you're not happy? But you just weren't, because you were looking for something else. You just felt incomplete. You felt like you didn't have a purpose. So you didn't have a direction, right? So many things, but you didn't know which one to fight, which one to take on. You felt like there was no purpose, no direction, no meaning to your life. That's why there was a very big change. You went through a very, very major change, darling. The Wheel of Fortune. This was your life, right? You were on top, but you felt like you had to be at the bottom somehow so that you can feel this weight of the meaning of life. What you did was you read so many books, right? You tried to learn and read and study a lot, right? Just opened a lot of manuscripts, read a lot of scrolls, and just tried to find the meaning of life. And you found it, darling. You did. Through what? Through spirituality. The High Priestess, this is what you became. Someone very spiritual, someone very in touch with her soul. See, money couldn't make you happy. Yellow, right? Do you see? Yellow. That is the color of wealth, of gold, of money. But this is what gave you happiness. Blue. The color of spirituality. The color of intellectualism with regards to the soul. The High Priestess. But darling, it wasn't so happy. Okay? The ending wasn't so happy. It's, 50-50 because you see these two pillars. Some people loved you for it, including yourself. You were very happy deep inside, but a lot of people also hated you for it. So 50-50, right? Some people loved you, others hated you. Why? Because you had everything. You had the family, you had the name, you had the wealth, but you had to leave it for something that they thought was crazy. I mean, the High Priestess, this is someone who took the vow of poverty, who promised to live a very simple life, devoid of all the riches, of all the comforts, of all the pleasures that you were born into. Instead, you wanted to follow this. And this is how you saw yourself. the high priestess. But others saw you as the cult leader. Someone who's, very crazy and deluded, asking people to leave behind what little they have. And they're saying that that's unfair because you had a lot. You already experienced everything from childhood. But now, as their leader, you are asking the masses, the poor people, to leave their family and what little they have, their trade, their loved ones. You're asking them to leave all of this behind and with you find the meaning of life. So a lot of people thought that was crazy, that was just really insane and harmful to a lot of minds, to a lot of young minds. So this is who you were, darling. You saw yourself, and some people too saw you as a high priestess, but others saw you as this, false messiah, someone crazy, especially because you were a woman, right? And I mean, back then, women had no other purpose other than to give birth, right? And extend the line, broaden the family tree. So just people really couldn't accept what you did, that you weren't happy with your role as this woman, as this lady, and you had to give it all up. Do you see the difference? The Wheel of Fortune, this is the card of Saturn. He is of this world, very material, very earthy. And the High Priestess, this is the card of the Moon. So the intuition, the realm of the mind, of the soul, right? Do you see the difference? Something that's out there to something that's inward. So this is what gave you happiness. But your name in the end, darling, even though you experienced happiness, is the High Priestess. This is the card of serenity. Someone very happy with herself, with himself, right? This is the card of someone who's, someone who knows the meaning of life. Someone who set out to find their purpose, and someone who successfully found it, right? Someone who successfully discovered it. But the sad part is not a lot of people saw your journey for what it is. Something beautiful, discarding the earth and going inwards instead. Some people thought that you were greedy, that you were crazy, insane, and harmful to other people, that your ideologies were hurting other people. So you set out to achieve your life purpose, and you did, but your name was besmirched, darling. Not a lot of people understood what you were doing, what you were about. So in the end, after you died, a lot of people appreciated you, but more kind of hated you and thought that you were crazy, that you were ungrateful. In the end, your family, the one that you left, they disowned you, okay? They didn't care about you in the end. So this is your life, darling. You indeed found your purpose in the end. All of the sadness, all of the depression, all of the lack that you suffered during the early part of your life, you were able to make up for it through your soul, right? Through your soul purpose, your life purpose, your spirituality. And some people listened to you, some people followed your path, but in the end, some people thought you were crazy, you were insane, and that you were someone that's not to be remembered well and not to be respected. Wow, this is really interesting. Sad, but kind of beautiful in its own way. Let's see what Sibila has to add to this. Wedding, wow. Darling, you were married back then. That's why a lot of people were totally against this, against everything that you did, because you were married. You had a family, so to them, you had everything set, And it's not just you and your mom and your dad that you're leaving. It's someone. There was someone that was promised to you, but, it just didn't make you happy. This Seven of Wands. This wedding, this marriage, this connection was something that your family arranged for you. Something that's meant to bolster the family tree, right? Something that's meant to strengthen your lineage, your political, social influence, right? Your family. So it wasn't out of love, this wedding, this connection. And that's why it didn't make you happy. So again, you have two wedding cards now. The Four of Wands and Sibila's wedding. So you were married, darling. You were a noble woman who was married to a lord. Right? And everything was perfect when it comes to the material things, the outward things. And people thought it's just crazy for you not to be happy, to leave all of this for something crazy, to bear the world on your shoulders, right? Instead of staying on top. People thought this was insane. What else do we have? Melody. You just couldn't help it, darling. You were struggling. You were sick. Melody. The card of illness and sickness. All of this yellow, this wealth, it just couldn't make you happy. All of this, political, social connections, they just failed to make you happy. Deep inside, you were sick. Melody, very sad. What else? Melancholy, depression. This is just an echo of this. You were struggling. Do you see your cards? You were struggling, you were sick, and you were depressed. This just wasn't fulfilling for you. Servant, this is the turnaround, you see? It matches with your Wheel of Fortune. This is what gave you happiness when you decided not to be a lady, right? Not to be on top of the food chain, but to bear the world on your shoulders, to serve others, to give up all of your wealth, to take a vow of poverty and decide to serve others, right? Through spirituality. This is what gave you happiness. What does your last Sibila has to say? The house, okay? There you go, darling. Stability. Finally, towards the end of your life, you found your home. You found where you belong. So really, if we're looking at it from your point of view, in this past life, you achieved what you set out to do. Right? You were very sad at the beginning of your life, melancholy, struggling, all of this, this marriage, this connection, your name, your nobility, your wealth, your family, it all failed to make you happy. And then when you found this change, giving up the earth for something intuitive and spiritual, something otherworldly, to be a servant to others, right? To serve others through spirituality, through intellectualism that's related to the soul. This is where you found stability. This is where you found happiness. This is where you found real comfort, not with gold, right? Not with your family, not with lineage, not with nobility, but with being a servant, with serving others through spirituality. This is what made you happy. And in the end, it really didn't matter with house here. It didn't matter that others didn't respect you for it, that others talked, very negatively, saw you as someone crazy, someone insane, someone very harmful to others. It didn't matter to you because in the end, you were happy. The High Priestess, right? Someone very secure, and with house here, an echo of that, doubling that, someone very stable. So this is who you were in a past life, darling. You were a noble woman who gave it all up for the soul, for spirituality, for the divine. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. If you chose fire, welcome to your reading. It's timeless. You are meant to see it right now. So, who were you in a past life? Let's start with Tarot. The Hierophant. The Three of Wands. The World. The King of Wands. And the Ace of Swords. Wow. Darling, to start off, you were a man. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 males compared to just 1 female. So you were definitely a man in this past life that we're talking about. What kind of man exactly? Well, darling, you were a priest, right? Someone who's very much a leader in this road of spirituality, right? Not politics, not society, so not a lord, not a mayor, not a president, nothing like that. But someone very religious, so a leader in religion and spirituality, a priest, right? And with the Hierophant here, you weren't just some ordinary average priest, okay? The Hierophant, this is the equivalent of the Pope in the Catholic religion, so you were someone big, right? You were someone in a very powerful position, so like an archbishop, something like that, right? Not just your ordinary priest, but someone who holds a lot of influence over people. Right? You had a big territory to rule over, spiritually speaking, and you were someone recognized and respected, even feared, darling. Wow. And with the Hierophant, like I said, Catholicism, the Pope. So this is a major religion. This isn't in any way a cult, or anything minority like that. This is the major religion of the time. Okay, so something like Catholicism, right? Something like Christianity, something that was widely accepted in society. But darling, look at you. You weren't happy. Look, the Three of Wands, someone who was looking out into the world trying to find something else. This was you, right? On your throne, right? You have your own sort of throne, spiritually speaking. And there were people that you were ruling over, right? Sheep that you were guiding, as they say in the Bible. But it just didn't make you happy. Look. You turned your back on all of that, and you were looking for something else, yellow. This is the card of manifestation. You were trying to manifest something else in your life. And what was that? Darling, this is so romantic. You left it all, your position, right? Your reputation Everything that you built, your empire as a spiritual leader, you left it all for a woman. You left it all for love, the world. Do you see? This is not only a woman in the card, but this is the card of marriage as well. So you left your marriage to the church, right? To this religion, to this spiritual path. And you looked for something else, the world, right? You found it in someone, not in a lot of people, right? Not in the herd, not in the masses, right? But in just one person, a single person, one woman. This is what you were trying to manifest. And you know how you met? One of those days, the Three of Wands, when you were out there, right? In the villages, in the city, just, trying to spread the word, trying to officiate a ceremony, a procession, right? Something wonderful, something related to religion. And that's when this woman caught your eye. Love at first sight, something like that. Something very wonderful and romantic, right? Something straight out of a novel. So from priesthood, you went to being someone's king, right? Not the Pope, not the Hierophant of the world, of a country, of a nation, but the king of just someone, right? Of just one person. And look at you, the King of Wands, looking very lovingly at this woman, right? This is your world. She was your world. This was the meaning that you were looking for with the Three of Wands, darling. This is what you were trying to manifest. And look, both are blue. So this is someone who also loved you, right? This person didn't marry you out of fear that you were, you were somebody and they're afraid that you're going to hurt them, kill them even if they didn't say yes. No, this woman loved you back, right? There was equality just as much as you love them. They loved you. Wow. Marriage. And look, this is the crown that you wanted. This is the throne that you wanted, not this, right? Look at you then. You weren't happy. Right? It's like you were looking for a meaning. You were searching for a purpose, for something else. But now, the King of Wands, you found it. You found the meaning of your life. You found what you're meant to look at, what you're meant to devote your life to. Wow. So, darling, this is what gave you clarity, the Ace of Swords. This new beginning in love and in life, right? This is what gave you purpose and meaning and clarity. And again, what did we say about the crown? This is the crown that you really want, not this one, right? This is what you've been looking for and you found it. So now I know, darling, in a past life, your life was very romantic. You were a priest, right? Someone major, like an archbishop, someone famous, someone who holds a lot of influence, someone who's also very good at what they do because, to reach this phase, this stage in your career, in your spiritual career, to be a Hierophant-like person, it means you were very good at this. You were very much respected and well regarded, but you were looking for something else and you found it in the eyes of a woman, darling. You found your life purpose in the heart of someone else. And in the end, you left the church, you left priesthood for this, for love, for romance, for a family of your own, right? You left the flock, right? For your own family. Just someone that you love and someone to start your own family with. And this, in the end, gave you a lot of clarity and happiness. This new beginning really made you feel joyful about everything. Finally, you found your meaning. You found your purpose in life. Nice. This is very romantic. Wow, very major. Let's see what Sibila has to add to this. Okay, that's crazy, priest. Okay, so then that's just an echo. You really were. You really were a priest, darling, in this past life. What else? Scholar, what did I say? You were very good at this, right? You weren't no average, ordinary priest, okay? You were someone who was well respected, someone very smart, scholar, right? You were good at this, but it didn't make you happy because not just because you're very good at something means it's your purpose, means it's your happiness, means it's your life path. So no, you were great at what you did, but it didn't bring you any happiness at all. What else? Death, transformation. Darling, ending. This life had to end. This being a very spiritual person, this being a religious leader, it just wasn't meant for you. It had to die and you had to begin anew, the Ace of Swords, right? There had to be a new beginning in your life. What else? Lover, again, darling. This is just an echo of your tarot. See, from priest to lover. You see, from the Hierophant to the King of Wands, someone looking at the woman in the world. So this is who you were, first half of your past life, right? A priest, someone whose life is dedicated to the church, to spirituality, to religion. But this is who we wanted to be. Someone caught your eye, right? Love at first sight. Look at you, looking at someone, pining for someone, meeting someone. So again, darling, priest to lover, Hierophant to King of Wands. What does your last Sibila have to say? Cheerfulness. Wow, and this really brought you clarity and happiness, darling. In the end, no matter what people said, you know, about you being a traitor to religion, about you being insane and crazy, you know, whatever the reaction was from society, it didn't matter because it gave you happiness, right? It gave you something to celebrate. It gave you clarity and a new beginning in life. Wow. So now we know in a past life, you were a priest turned lover. Wow. Someone who left a church to have someone to have in their life. Wow. This is wonderful, darling. You were a very romantic person. You left it all. Everything that you knew, right? Scholar, you were very good at this. But you didn't care. You were looking for something and you found it. You found it in the eyes, in the heart of someone else. Lovely indeed. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you for joining me today. And I hope to see you again soon. Take care. If you chose water, welcome to your reading. It's timeless. You are meant to see it right now. So, who were you in a past life? Let's start with tarot. The Page of Cups. The Two of Wands. The Eight of Cups. The Devil. And Death. Okay. So, darling, to begin with, you were a man. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 males compared to just 1, 2, 3 females. So you were a man in this past life that we're talking about. You were born into a very humble family, right? A humble background, page, not knight, not queen or king. So a member of the peasantry is what you were, right? But someone who wasn't lacking for much. You looked happy enough, right? You had the essentials, you had the food, you had the family, you had the clothing, you lived in a comfortable home. You had the basics, basically, right? Everything was nice. Things weren't perfect, of course. There was no wealth, there was no pleasure, nothing like that, but things were good enough, right? For someone of the masses, things were comfortable enough. The Page of Cups, this is someone who's all good, someone who's well, right? Someone who has enough kindness and love in his life. So your family loved you, right? It was a safe environment that you grew up in. Things were okay, you know, nothing great, nothing wonderful or amazing or even fascinating, but things were fine, darling. Things were okay. Not so much poverty, just humility, a very humble life and background. But this wasn't enough for you at all. Okay, you weren't satisfied at all. Look, the Two of Wands. You were holding just enough food, enough comfort, but you didn't want just enough. You didn't want just sufficient. You wanted the whole world, darling. Look, holding the world in the palm of your hand. You were a very ambitious person. The Two of Wands, this is the card of, you know, planning, trying to strategize how to better your life, how to improve your lot, right? How to change everything for the better for you and your loved ones. So you were very ambitious. You wanted more, right? You wanted to be something major, something big. You wanted a better life for yourself and those that you love. That's why you left. The Eight of Cups, the card of leaving, right? You left your village, you left your hometown, you left your family to venture out into the world, right? To try to grasp some chances, some opportunities so that you can improve your life, so that you can grow from the person that you were born, right? So you can develop into something much better. And what did you do? You were a soldier, darling. The Devil, this is the card of military. You started at the very bottom. See, the shackles, they represent someone at the bottom of the food chain. So just a humble soldier, right? Someone, you know, someone very young, someone who has a lot on top of them, you know, a lot of bosses, a lot of commanders, a lot of generals, a lot of other people to obey. You were at the very bottom. But because you're ambitious and you're smart and you're hardworking and you're charming, the Page of Cups, right? So you have the wits and you have the charms as well. You were able to climb on top. Eventually, you became a commander, a general, right? From someone at the bottom, suddenly you were someone at the top. You were able to evolve and to climb quickly towards the top of the ladder. Wow. Very ambitious and, you know, again, very worldly, darling. This is what you wanted, the Devil. This is the card of Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign ruled by Saturn. So very worldly, very materialistic. You just really wanted something concrete in your life. You just wanted to achieve something. You wanted to become somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. And you became so powerful in the end that, look, even the church, even priests, even bishops were cowering, right? All of them, you had them under your power, under your influence, under your control. So, soldier, military, turned politician. That is what you became, darling. Very ambitious, very strategic, right? The Two of Wands. And combined with the charms of the Page of Cups, it was very easy for you to move, right? To climb from here to here. So in the end, this was you. No longer a page, right? You had your own horse. You were someone waving your own flag, right? You were someone major, darling. Wow, so this was who you are. I can say social climber because when we say social climber, there is that connotation of someone who's a, you know, someone who's a pretender, someone who's an imposter, right? But no, there wasn't like that in your life. In this past life that we're talking about, there was no social climbing. There was no pretense. There was just ambition and hard work, right? Knowing how to work your way up. So from someone who was born a peasant to someone who left his hometown so that you can achieve something better for yourself, so that you can make a name for yourself. So you started as a soldier. Eventually you climbed your way up. And in the end, you were a politician. Wow. Someone very powerful and influential. Let's see what Sibila has to add to this. Misfortune. So, darling, to you, this was a misfortune. The way that you were born, your place in society. It was just a disgrace for you. You wanted something better. Really. You felt like you were at the bottom. Why were you born there? You wanted to climb up. What else? Hope. See? You were hoping for something better, but you weren't just hoping in vain. You weren't just hoping quietly. You did something about it, right? You planned and you left and you executed your plan and you climbed and you succeeded. Wow. What else? Letter. You were hoping for a chance, an opportunity. Letter, right? An announcement of a chance. That's why you left, right? You were hoping to do something with your life. You were waiting for a message so that you were given an opportunity to change things, to improve things, to make things better for you and those that you love. What else? Money. This is really what it's all about. There's power, but of course, at the very heart of it, there's money, wealth, right? The root of power. The things that gave you ability, money, capability to control, to influence, right? To just, you know, have this authority over other people, money. This is what you were after. What did we say? The Devil, right? Capricorn, Saturn, very worldly, very materialistic. This is what you wanted, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? To you, it was a misfortune that you were born poor, and you just wanted to improve your lot. Who said it was wrong to dream? And you dreamed very well, very largely, and you achieved all of it. Let's see what your last card has to say. Wife. Wow. So you wanted it all, darling, but not just for yourself. But what did I keep saying? What was I saying this whole time? You know, it is also for your loved ones. Wife, right? Family. It wasn't just for you. It wasn't blind, selfish ambition. You wanted things to be better for your progeny, for your family, right? For your descendants, right? You wanted things to be better, not just for yourself, but for everyone who would come after you. So now I know, darling, in one of your past lives, you were born a peasant, right? One of the masses, and that didn't make you happy at all. So you hoped and you planned and you moved away. You waited for this opportunity. You became a soldier, You became a politician, someone very powerful and influential who could bestow generosity, kindness, money, wealth, comfort, and pleasure, not just to yourself, but to everyone that you love, right? And because of this, you improved the lot of your progeny, of your descendants, of your family. Wow, very nice, very ambitious, and very kind-hearted as well, it seems. Wonderful. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. If you chose air, welcome to your reading. It's timeless. You are meant to see it right now. So, who were you in a past life? Let's start with tarot. Temperance. The Lovers. The Page of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. Okay, so darling, to begin with, you were a man in this past life that we're talking about, because in your whole spread there are only two females. You have her and her. Everyone else is male, and therefore you two were male in this past life. Okay, you started off as a humble healer. Temperance. Okay, someone who's very quietly healing people, right? No one's so famous or fantastical, just someone who's humbly, quietly healing the people around you, right? People in your village are coming to you for help, to help them in their health, their fitness, their well-being. And you weren't a doctor, darling. Nothing so worldly or earthly like that, okay? This is an archangel on this card, so you did it through spiritual means, darling. In other words, through magic. You didn't use any ordinary herbs. You used words, magical words, right? Spells, talismans. This is how you healed people, darling. Through magic. You were that kind of healer. Very magical, very spiritual, and you were very good at it. Temperance, this is the card of balance. So you were able to bring balance back into the hearts, the bodies, the lives, the souls of these people. You were able to make the sun shine again in the lives of ill people. You were very good at this, darling. You were a very good healer. You were very gifted. And look, that is why we have the Lovers here. Do you see? Another angel from someone who has his feet grounded, right? Someone on earth to someone who's up there in the sky. Archangel Raphael, he is the angel of healing. Of all of them, he's the one best known for his healing power. So, this is who you became, darling. Do you see the difference in color? Your hair is more colorful, right? And your wings are darker. And the sun is much bigger. So in other words, you became famous for this, darling. You became someone very well known. So not just in your village, right? What did we say? You began as a humble healer, but no, people from all around the earth heard about you, okay? Everyone heard of your powers, of your magic, of your healing abilities. And a lot of people came to you, right? Rich and poor alike. Locals and foreigners alike, they came to you bare naked with their problems, with their illnesses, asking you, looking up to you, begging you, imploring you to heal them. And that's what you did, because you're very giving. Again, angels, right? You're very giving. You're very generous with your gift. And look at the look on your face then and now. See, very calm. You are not someone who is trying to bask in your glory. The humility is there. Right? The idea of service is there. You are someone who delights in what you do, but not for your sake, right? You love it because you are helping people with your magic. You are healing people, and you are very good at it, darling. See, people came from, they traveled through the seas and mountains just to see you. They came from all over the world. Lots of people coming for you for help. Wow. And that is why, right? Towards the end, eventually you received a message. Page of Pentacles. Pages are messengers. So you received a message from someone wonderful, someone great, someone huge. Who exactly? The king, darling. No other than the king. The Ten of Pentacles. This is the card of the rulers of the land, right? Absolute wealth, right? The absolute Lord, the biggest commander and authority in a nation. So this, see, do you see? these people living in this castle, in this beautiful place, these very stable and wealthy people, right? With all of their crest, right? Someone from a very respected family, they're the ones who send you a message, an invitation, an offer, basically to join the court, to be the healer, not just of these villages, right? Not just someone that people travel to, not just a sensation, but the official healer of the nation. In other words, darling, you became the king's mage. You became the healer of the nation. So people weren't afraid of your powers at all. People craved it, right? Even the authority weren't afraid of you. The authorities in the land, they wanted you to be a part of the nation. They wanted you to help heal the nation. You were the king's mage, darling. You were a wizard. You were a warlock. You were someone respected. You were very powerful and you did your job very well. Again, there was no basking in your glory. You know, there's no aggressiveness. Nothing like that. You know, it was all very humble for you. For you, it's service, right? Your gift, you delighted in it, but not just for your sake, not for fame, not for wealth, not for money, but because you wanted to help people and you were very much appreciated for it, right? People, they climbed mountains, they crossed oceans for you just to get you to heal them. And eventually, the authorities of the land, they were able to hear about everything that you've been doing and they invited you and you accepted. That's why in the end, look, the Six of Wands. You were someone very victorious, someone famous, someone that people hold processions and parades for, okay? So, darling, in the end, you were a saint. Wow. And also, it helps because you were a man. If you had been a woman and you had all of these healing powers back then, well, you would have been burned at the stake. But because you were a man, you were seen as a mage, a wizard, right? Someone very powerful, someone sent from above, not someone who's married to Satan or anything like that. So, darling, this is your talent. This is who you were in this past life. You were a healer, right? You did it through spiritual, magical means, and everybody learned about your abilities, right? Even the king and the queen of the land. And in the end, you became their mage. And because of this, you became a saint. Right? Someone very powerful and very respected for what you did. Amazing, darling. You were someone great. Let's see what Sibylla has to add to this. Despair. See, these are the people that you helped, right? Not just people with physical maladies, but people who also had emotional, spiritual, mental problems. What else? Prison. Again, darling, people who felt imprisoned, right? In their mind, in their hearts, in their souls. This is the kind of healer that you were, not just physical, but holistic. You healed everyone's issues, everyone's maladies and illnesses. What else? Friend. Nice. So you were their friend. This is how people saw you, again, not as a witch, right? Not someone to be burned at the stake, but someone who is a friend, offering flowers, offering healing, offering help to people rich and poor, right? People peasant and noble alike. This is who you were. You were everybody's friend. That's why in the end you were a saint, darling. Do you see? You were someone that people saw as very helpful and kind and sent by God from heaven, okay? Not someone who consorts with the devil or anything like that. So again, everybody's friend, a saint, someone that everybody admired and respected, even worshipped in a way, right? What else? Surprise. See? You did not see this coming, darling. What did we say at the beginning? You started off as a humble healer in your village. You didn't know that it would come to this. You didn't know that people from all over the world would come to you, right? Cross seas and climb mountains for you, to be healed by you. And you had no idea that this invitation from the king, from the palace, from the kingdom would ever come to you, and that you would be someone who's a friend of everyone, someone that everybody looks up to. This is something that surprised you, right? The card of surprise, this is something better than expected, because what did we say? You didn't really expect anything. You didn't want glory or anything like that, right? You just wanted to heal people, and that's why you were blessed with this. This was your reward for your humility, for your selflessness. You were given everything. Let's see what your last card has to say. Sweetheart, wonderful. So 2 meanings, darling. First, again, you were everybody's friend, everybody's sweetheart. You were kind and sweet to everybody. But also, the new information is that there was also love in your life, darling. Okay, so you weren't someone who just lived to help and to heal others. You also had love in your life. So now the Lover's card, it takes on a different meaning. This, with sweetheart, you were someone who had someone, darling. There was romance in your life. You had your soulmate with you in this lifetime that we're talking about. That's why you were happy. That's why you were satisfied. You didn't want glory. You didn't want wealth. You didn't want fame. You just wanted love, to be happy with this person that you chose for yourself and this person that also chose to spend their life with you. Wonderful, darling. You had it all. You had everything, the respect of everybody. You had the gift. You had the name. You were a saint. And most of all, you had the love of your life with you in this lifetime. Wonderful. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.